Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. So, in August, again, the history, again, like it's something bad, again, the history challenge is back. So, this, I think maybe the first time this have happened, was happening, was last year, and they're repeating it this year. So, history challenge readathon goes over 2 weeks. It's the last 2 weeks of August. So, from the 16th till the 31st. Is that maybe 3 weeks? Am I an idiot? Let me just check it out. I might be an idiot. Let me check it out. Let me see. 16? No, well, it's 2 weeks and 2 days. So more or less 2 weeks. The idea is to read historical nonfiction. Often readathons are focused on fiction, or they're focused on reading different authors from different places, or it's about reading LGBTQI plus, and all that's good. But this readathon is focusing on history. And also often when you think, oh, history, okay, so it has to be like the Second World War, First World War, something like that. But no, it doesn't. It can be, for example, like the history of, it can be a memoir, so it can be like personal history, that's history. It could be a story about ancient history, like the ancient Rome, ancient Egypt. It could be about the first radio shows in the UK, etc., etc. Like anything that's history. Now, I suppose again, like, how do you define history? Like, if something is about the 1990s, is that historical nonfiction? I suppose I'm not quite sure. But anyway, the prompts are anyway: 1, read a biography or memoir. 2, relearn a school topic or like revisit. 3, microhistory. So microhistory, in case you didn't know, is kind of like microhistory is like the history of cheese, or like the history of Gouda. So the history of something specific. So I suppose a memoir in a way could be microhistory because it's history of a person. And yeah, so microhistory is like specific history to one small item or element. Read a translated book, history of a social movement. Read a book from time period or country you've never read before. Read a book set in a different continent. Read a book by a BIPOC author. BIPOC, in case you didn't know, stands for biracial person of color. Yeah? No? I'm an idiot. I'm gonna say what it stands down for in the description. You know, no, I'm gonna check it out now. In a moment. So I had it. I was like almost right, and then well, okay. So BIPOC stands for Black, Indigenous, and People of Color. So people of color is like Indian and yeah, but all that stuff. And Black, Indigenous shouldn't really be that hard to know what that means. So yeah, and then we're gonna move on. And the last one is read a book from your favorite time period. And yeah, as I said, it goes over 2 weeks. And last year there was this history challenge, also book tag. I suppose I might do that again because it's probably not going to be a new tag. I suppose I might redo that or might not because like over made of last year, but maybe I'll do that. But yeah. So yeah, I loved participating in this one last year, and I don't really remember how time works. So even though it's just 2 weeks, I have all this big of a of a TBR pile. I think maybe it's 30 books. So yeah, I know that's not gonna happen. But also on the other side, I'm a mood reader, so I like to have options. So I suppose it's more like a pile of possibilities than TBRs. But like, yeah, yeah. So yeah. Also, I might go to the library and find some more books. So yeah, these are just kind of the books that I own that I kind of want to get to. But yeah, I might get to other audiobooks. I might get to the library and get other stuff. So yeah, this is kind of some books. So I might do another video if I go to the library. I don't think I will, but again, maybe I won't. But like, if I will, I might do another video and like, these are the books I want to read for that time period as well. And yeah, also a little digression. But yeah, so the first 2 weeks of August, I'm actually going on vacation, and so I won't really do a TBR for the first 2 weeks. Sorry, I'll probably be reading some, but I don't really think I'll be reading that much. And yeah, I don't really know what I'll be reading at all. So I'll probably do like more. I'll probably do a wrap up instead of a TBR for like the beginning of the month. So yeah, this is kind of like the only. This will be the only TBR for August for me at this point in time. And yeah, let's get to the books, shall we? First, we have Eventyrlig evolusjon, which is a non-fiction about evolution, kind of in the name really. It's a Norwegian book, as you can also see from Eventyrlig. I got this 2 years ago, maybe now. And yeah, it's a book based around evolution, written for kids. It's not a long book, so I think it's probably gonna be cool and fun. I just haven't picked it up yet because all the books. But yeah, this one might be fun to pick up. And then we have The Devil's Blade, which is a non-fiction, a fiction book. Yeah, there wasn't really a fiction book on the prompts, but like if you want to read one, or I suppose also some fiction books that's historical based as well, go ahead. That's also allowed. It's not like there's a book to police, but like yeah. But like often when people talk about historical, they think immediately about historical fiction, and the main point here with this readathon is doing non-fiction. But like if you want to mix it up or do both, that's allowed as well. So yeah, but it's based on a real person, Julie Daubigny, and yeah, I'm just gonna move on because a lot of books. And then we have A History of the World in 21 Women by Jenny Murray. And yes, as you say, as you would think, like it's 21 females and their history and how they changed the world. I love female history. So yeah, that's probably how I want to be on. Then we have princesses behaving badly, and this is kind of the same thing where it's like different historical people and their like story, and there's moments. It's like beautiful things here and there, and there's some. I think there's some drawings. Yeah, there's like drawings here and there, and yeah, can't wait to read this one. And then we have a biography, straight down biography by Walt Disney, about Walt Disney. I love Disney, so this was I suppose this would kind of work as a micro history because it's about Disney and that company, but it's also a memoir, so it works for two things. And yeah, it's kind of chunky, but hey, oh okay, it looks chunky, but it actually is just 400. It's 500 pages. I kind of thought like it looked bigger, but yeah, that might be doable. But yeah, then we have also yeah if you have been there, or like if you rewatch some of my old videos, or if you've been there since last year, some of these videos, sorry, books might be a repeat from last year because new to reader me, yeah, definitely. So this is definitely a one from last year. A Little History of Archaeology by Brian Flanagan, and yeah, it's just a non-fiction about archaeology, and yeah, that intrigues me. It's by blah 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 Yale University Press. So yeah. Sorry. Then we have another fiction book Uppmålingen av verden by Daniel Kellman. So this is about like different explorers in 1828 and how they go different places in the world and things happening to them. It's based around like includes Thomas Jefferson, Immanuel Kant, Louis Daguerre, like different real life people. But it kind of like takes some liberties with real life and stuff. It's not biography. It's based on real life. So actually, thought before today, I thought this was nonfiction, and I read like, oh no, it's not nonfiction. Still, it looks cool. Then we have a repeat from last year, Vienna, 1814. So 1814 was actually the year Norway got our constitution, and like because of like all these things were happening out in the world and Europe, in other parts of Europe, there was this big meeting in Vienna, 1814, and that kind of led to Norway getting our constitution. So this seems interesting. And yeah, might get twist this time. Maybe, maybe. Then, give a moment. Need some tea. Then we have a biography, another one. And this is actually a lineup of two. It's both Frederick Douglass and Harriet Jacobs. So it's biographies of two slave people, or former slave people who became free. And it's autobiographies. Both of these stories are written by themselves. And yeah. And then we have a non-fiction book, a fiction book, The Prince's Plan by Julia London. This is historical romance set in England in, doesn't say. Let's check out which, in 1845. So yeah. Then we have Belle by Paula Byrne. So this is, as you see in the movie cover, because this is a movie came out a few years ago, 10 years ago? Yeah, a few years ago. But yeah, this is based on a real life story. So this is kind of real life happenings of Belle. She was I was supposed to say multicultural, which was as well, multiracial female in the 1700s. Yeah, 1700s. Her dad was a rich man who went to Caribbean. He found a woman overnight. They did it, but I think also they were also lovers. Maybe they were lovers, not overnight. Anyway, he made love to a local woman, and he got disease while being over in Caribbean. But he wanted her, but he knew that his daughter was a thing, so he sent his daughter to his parents in England. So Belle grows up in England in this rich person's life, but like she has to eat her meals with the kitchen staff because black uh, of her black appearance. So yeah, I mean, she lives in grandeur things in England, but she doesn't get all the goodness. And yeah, it's a good, interesting story. Saw the movie years ago. I didn't really know there was a book, and yeah, I want to get the book as well. It's not long, so yeah, doable. So probably might do it, might procrastinate. Who knows? Then we have A Lovely War, another fiction book by Julie Berry. This one actually takes place during the. Oh, sorry, yeah. I thought first was just the First World War. It's actually the First and Second World War, and a love story, and the World War as a background. And I really like Julie Berry's writing. Don't I? Or have I maybe not read anything by Julie Berry? No, I haven't. Sorry. I've heard good things about this book anyway. So yeah. Then you have When They Call You Terrorists by Patrice Colors and Asha Bandela. So this is a story about a social movement. It's about one of the persons behind Black Lives Matter movement and that organization. And yeah, so she's she's talking to journalist, I think. So it's kind of like it's both her writing but also a journalist, and it's not long at all. I wanted to read it for a while, but procrastination. So yeah. Then we have The Purpose of Power, another one of the females behind Black Lives Matter movement, another memoir, and yeah, I actually really get to this one. And then you have Where There's a Will, There's a Way, or All I Really Need to Know, I Learned from Shakespeare. So this is a story. It's a non-fiction book about Shakespeare and how they impact the world and all that stuff. It's not long at all. I like Shakespeare, so yeah. Then we have Den Sorte Greven, or the English name is, check it out, The Black Count. So it's direct translated. So this, sorry, this is a real life story of the father of Victor Hugo. Let's say Hugo Dumas, and that's someone else. I don't think that's the person. But yeah, Victor Hugo, the author, who wrote Les Miserables, and he also wrote Hunchback of Notre Dame. He wrote, yeah, all these classics. He was actually biracial. People don't really think about that, but he was. And this is the story of his dad. And yeah, I've heard very good things about this book. Then you have Timelines from Black History, Leaders, Legends, and Legacies. And yeah, it's a big book, but I think maybe it's kind of meant for kids, but it's, yeah, it's a book I kind of wanted to get to, and cool book. So yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Then we have a book I've bought because everyone else bought it, but also looks good. It's not just pure peer pressure, but I love that. But yeah, The Untold Story of the Lives of Women Killed by Jack the Ripper by Hallie Rubenhold. Both, I think at least Amrita, but both, at least Katie from Katie Reads and Rants read it and loved it. I think Rosie has also read it and loved it. A lot of people either has read it or loved it or like wants to read it. So yeah. And then we have The Husband Hunters by Anne de Kinsey. Sorry. This is a non-fiction book about heiresses in America going to England to get titles. So they were getting married because they wanted titles, and the men wanted the money of the Americans. And yeah. Soon finished. And then we have The Oxford, a book of theatrical anecdotes by Giles Braniff. So this is a chunker, big book, but it's real. It's anecdotes from real life, so it's he just can kind of checked out before he published this book. So it's anecdotes that the real that we know, they're not made up. They're real things that happened from theater, both in England but also the whole world. And yeah, I started actually this earlier. It was good, but like it's the Oxford Book of Dictionary, no, Oxford Book of Anecdotes. So it starts from like the 1800s till like today. And so the first ones were like, I don't really know these actors, so would I really care? Like often when stories about people you know, it's easier to care and be interested. But yeah, still kind of want to read more of it. Yeah, that I read it, started, haven't read all of it, and yeah. Then we have Hangman's Holiday by Dorothy L. Sayers, historical crime fiction. It's kind of mentioned in the same breath as Agatha Christie. I love Agatha Christie. I have actually read Dorothy L. Sayers' short stories, but I haven't read any books by her. So, yeah. And then we have the last, I tell you, the last for now. Sorry. Atlas or Oppdagede øyer. Atlas over undiscovered islands. So it's a non-fiction book about, yeah, places in the world that kind of are mythical or you think they're existing or they used to exist. Okay, so I suppose maybe this is not really non-fiction-ish. Okay, it says at the back it says for thousands of years the world seas has been full of islands that have never existed. These mythical places are results of uh, imagination, human error, or pure con. They all have their own stories. Okay, so I suppose it's more like a story of like people making stuff up. So it's non-fiction-ish. Ah, I'm adding it. It's geography-ish. So yeah, it's here as you see. So yeah, that's my a little bit ambitious TBR. So we'll see what happens with that. And like the books that won't get you like in August, probably might try to read them during the fall, like at least during some of them during nonfiction November. And yeah, I'll link all the again. I'll link all the readathon hosts in the comments in the description. And yeah, bye.